What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Trust the Tape, your favorite NFL draft / kind of Dallas Cowboys podcast. It's good to see you. My name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
Cavanaugh! And I, of course, am joined by former Cowboy scout, the greatest drafter of all time. Check out the 1998 Philadelphia Eagles draft, where one draft this man ran was the finest draft anyone had. Great and powerful Bryan Broaddus.
Hey, Bryan.
What's up, Bryan?
Good morning, Jeffrey. How we doing?
We're doing great. We continue the campaign to make sure that everyone is following Crown Global Media, both on YouTube and on Twitter, because Bryan has not gotten it unlocked yet. He is short his 15 billion follower account on Twitter while trying to grow a company. So make sure you're following both Crown Global Media on Twitter and on YouTube, okay? And I'll throw in a follow DLS Sports on YouTube account.
Please do.
Please do. Me money. All right. Now it's time for an episode of Is It the Hot Dog or Is It the Bun?
Now this is a hot dog bun.
I think it's a hot dog too.
I just wanted to play that. I don't know even how that was. Oh, somebody saw me tweeting last night, Bryan.
Did they see you tweeting? What were you tweeting about?
I don't want to rub it in that I'm able to tweet, so that seems rude.
Oh, no. It's unfortunate. I've got some quality folks trying to help me here. So maybe in the next couple of days we'll be back in full operational mode. I don't want to delete the account and have to start over. It's been a long journey. I don't want to do that if I am, but I've got some folks that I think can pull this off. If not, I'm going to go to a professional team that might be able to help me pull it off. They just don't know it. They just don't know it yet.
So this is the super chat we got. And first, I'm going to tell you the tweet I sent last night, which was, I have an incredibly hot draft take, but I'm not going to say it for a while so no one yells at me on the internet, because I don't like to get yelled at, Bryan. And so sometimes I just keep things to myself, even if I do think them.
Yeah.
And I do have a hot draft take, and I'm not going to tell you if what this man said is my draft take or not. I'm not going to tell you if that's my hot draft take. Okay.
You have Styles over Reese is how you're looking at it right now?
Yeah, that's my hot draft take.
You know what? I'm gonna say this, Jeffrey. I personally have Reese higher. I do think we're in a mode now where Styles is not going to be there when you're picking at 14.
Don't tell me. Don't do that to me, Bryan. I can't. I don't need.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't
need this from you, Bryan.
This is one of those drafts where it's one of these drafts where we've kind of. There were a lot of names always kind of plugged in with the Cowboys. Remember last year? It was Ashton Jeanty, and then it became the wide receiver, McMillan, and at the end you end up people are going to look at Styles. Yeah, it's when we have early draft names that come from Dane Brugler and these others that do the draft, work on it. Some of their initial thoughts, I think the media scout catches up with what the teams start to think about, because we'll get the Senior Bowl. Drew Fabianich, our friend, is running the Senior Bowl now. Really excited for that. We'll have the Combine. We're going to start hearing a lot of things about Styles and as a linebacker, and I have a feeling that he's going to be a lot higher on people's boards. And as I've seen a lot of mock drafts, it seems McCoy from Tennessee, the corner, gets thrown in there a lot. It seems that Styles was a guy that they were talking about at the Green Bay pick. There's no way in heck that's going to happen. I just don't see him falling that way. It's going to have to be your pick at 13, 14, depending on how this thing plays. And then the situation with what other teams are doing, but he's clearly going up the board. I don't know if people would take him. I did see a company. I say company, a site, and they're called Buckeye 20, is what they are.
I bet they're going to really like him if their name is Buckeye 20.
Well, Buckeye 20 does a thing called the 11 of Warriors, is what they call. And every year they break down the Ohio State team as they are. And matter of fact, as they broke down the players for this group, Styles was ahead of Reese. McDonald was ahead of Reese. They had Reese as like the sixth best player of, and you had your receiver Smith, they had Tate in there. They had guys that had your safety was up there at number 2. But they had Reese, they had Styles ahead of Reese for this group that obviously is a sight for Ohio State fans with the way they ranked their 11. They had Styles ahead of Reese. So you might not be wrong. Ohio State fans might absolutely see this the way. The one that's interesting is that corner where I'm not the corner, excuse me, the safety where
Downs, let him drop to the teens. I'll take him too.
I think
Downs is incredible.
I think he's going to be a guy that's probably selected a lot higher than where, I know people have talked about him. I've seen him on a few mock drafts end up at Dallas at 14. I don't see that happening.
Well,
but
that's
could be wrong.
That's the problem with the Dallas Cowboys is, something you have to embrace your suck. Once you start seeing there might be some suck, you got to embrace the suck and do as poorly as you can. So that
they won't do that, Jeff. They won't do that.
Just needed to lose last week and this week, and I think we could have got stuck. We'll see, but we'll see. You know what I don't like? What I don't like is in December, if you start talking about somebody and then you get a bunch of won't be there, no chance, not going to get him. And
well, not when you watch the others. 15th,
and I'll hear you can't have him about 25 players, and I'm like, guys, this isn't how this works. So
CeeDee Lamb, one of the great draft nights I've ever been a part of was the drafting of CeeDee Lamb. That was spectacular. You're right. It takes mistakes. I just can't believe that teams could not look at Styles and not see a complete linebacker.
I want to very intentionally trust the tape a little bit slowly because I'll be honest, I don't watch draft content yet. I mean, I don't watch or listen to much of anything, honestly, because I like everything that I do to just be mine. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be really influenced, or because I would rather read a book about dragons and wizards. I don't know, but I don't really watch or listen to much. And so what I don't want to do is run out in front of everybody. And I'm sure a lot of people have been watching your stuff, and I'm sure you've talked about all these players a bunch, but I want to intentionally slow it down and make sure that everybody is familiar with what the hell I'm talking about. And so my guy, Sonny Styles, is the linebacker at Ohio State, right? Coming into this year. I don't know. I'd heard Dane Brugler talk about him coming into the year and talking about, as long as he keeps showing improvement, he's a good player. And then it was like, whoop, and he did, whoop, and he did, whoop, and he did. And so he's a big old linebacker. He's 6'4", 6'5". He might be 6'5". He's 240, 245 pounds, a big old dude. Arvell Reese is the linebacker who stands next to him at Ohio State. And they're about the same size. But Arvell Reese is the one who is younger. He's a junior. And he is the one who is always projected higher. And a big part of that, I believe, is he also is the one who they gave opportunities to line up on the edge and rush the passer.
Yeah.
And then he did it really well. And so I think people start to see the shades of, I did listen to one thing because I wanted to get the top 5 at the mid-season point of the college football season. It was our friend Dave Hellman and our friend Dane Brugler doing their podcast. And Dave brought up the name Micah Parsons. Yeah. And I think if an NFL, that's what I wonder is, are NFL teams looking at Arvell Reese and projecting that he's not a linebacker and that he is an edge rusher and that this edge rusher class, they could project him to be the best one? Because here's my thing.
Yeah.
If you're looking at linebackers, I think Sonny Styles is a better coverage player comfortably.
Yeah.
I think he's a better run player. I think he's a better block shedder. I think he's better at not missing. I just think if you want to say I'm picking Arvell Reese because I think he can pull off the Micah Parsons move, then I say I understand your thinking. But I didn't. I think I arrived at this decision because I'd watched both of them, and yesterday I was like, let me hammer through a bunch of these edge guys. And for whatever reason, I was like, but first, let me see if I have access to the tape of Ohio State, Indiana. And I did.
Yeah.
And Styles just did it again. It's just a perfect run defense. Anybody who's, trying to keep me from making this play, guess what? Stack, shed, tackle, stack, shed, tackle, cover. I have way too much affinity for an off-the-ball linebacker in this draft class. That's what's happening. I think Sonny Styles is incredible. I think he's the closest thing to Fred Warner you're going to find in a draft. He's a giant. He's super athletic, and he's a good run and pass player. Oh, my goodness, I want him, and now you're telling me I can't have him. It's okay. And that's okay.
Oh, no.
People weaseled my hot take out of me. Yes, I like Sonny Styles more than Arvell Reese.
Well, why are you disappointed that everything you just said, you don't think other people are seeing the exact same thing you're watching?
I do, but teams will.
Why would you say everything you just said and think that you have a shot at a player like that?
I can tell you. The answer is because teams are going to look at that, and a lot of teams are going to say, okay, McCoy, the Tennessee corner, and Mansour Delane, the LSU corner, if we really like them, corners are more valuable than linebackers. Peter Woods at defensive tackle. Defensive tackles make more than linebackers. Pick out 4 edge rushers, 2 quarterbacks, and offensive linemen are 2. I can get him there. Because
sure, I'm not saying you can't, but you just described a player that sounds like to me a top 15 player for sure.
Yeah, he'll probably be a top 5 player for me.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't think you're wrong about the guy. I just think we sat there last year and I watched mock draft after mock draft after mock draft tell me about a running back that never got there, a wide receiver that never got there. Yeah. You know, I think that people look at these players and they're like, Sonny Styles should be one of the top 10 players in the draft. I mean, I don't know. You described the player perfectly. You know, I'm not trying to kill your vibe here. I'm just kind of confirming that I think people are going to see the same thing and realize that he is better than the Clemson defensive tackle or, you know, whoever else you want to throw in there that might be. Let me tell you what, Sonny Styles and a couple of these offensive linemen, I don't know. You could talk about value all you want. How about take the best player? How about that be the best player? How about Sonny Styles when you're picking in the top 10 and you don't want to make a mistake? Why don't you take the best damn player? That's kind of how I look at it. You know,
I do like this one guy. It's not a super chat, but I like it because this is something I swear to God I've noticed. He said PFF bases their rankings off Jeff's YouTube. I swear to God, Sonny Styles has moved up twice, both times after I've talked good about him on Pro Football Focus's rankings. Best not to worry about that, though. Swayze wants to know, when's the last good draft Will McClay had? He seems to be too comfortable. Also, are the Cowboys idiots for playing Dak in Week 18? Yes. Get sacked 6 times last week. You're playing for nothing. But I will say this. I can appreciate Dak's competitiveness. It'd probably be really fun to win a passing title. That's neat. And Dak mentioning, like, I've never had a losing season when I'm healthy as a quarterback and I don't want to. So I get it. I don't hate it. I don't hate it for him. But I appreciate what the Raiders did. The Raiders made their best player real mad.
It's not like that guy needs knee surgery too.
Okay, see, they're just trying to protect the man. And they were playing the Giants for the pick, and they pulled it off. They lost. They need a quarterback. Like, we can't afford to win this game. We have to lose this game. Sorry, Max.
How about this? Let me throw something at you. Be kind of wild. I know the Raiders are likely going to get the number 1 overall pick. I think it's 80%. Yeah. What if the Raiders traded you Max Crosby for your 2 1s and used the 2 1s to go draft a quarterback? What if they took 3 1s and used the 2 1s to find their quarterback off that?
I think. Oh, a lot of you aren't going to like what I say to this, and I apologize in advance. I don't want you to be mad at me. I think if you traded 2 1s to get Max Crosby in a vacuum, I think I'm okay with that trade. In a big picture view, I would be pissed. I mean, what bigger admission of how stupid you've been and the things you've done.
They didn't like
having
Michael
to
Parsons.
Give up 2 1s to replace the guy who you got 2 1s for.
Sure.
Who's not quite as good a player, who's older, who's going to be coming off a knee surgery. Of course, Micah will too. Yeah. And you've given up a 1 and a 2 for Quinnen Williams. all in
Max
response.
Crosby and Quentin Williams might be a pretty damn good pair for you.
It would be. And in a vacuum, it would be okay. But I'd be like, oh, wow. So you had to give up 3 first-round picks and a second-round pick to try to replace the guy that was already yours. Yeah. Great job, guys. That would make me kind of mad. But, yeah, I think if we're being honest, I love the draft. And if you let me pick my perfect draft, then I'll be convinced, man, I've done a great job and I got 2 really, really good players. The odds that both your guys add up to being Max Crosby is very low.
Yeah.
Unless you think he's about to be on the way down because he's getting older and he's going to be coming off of something. Yeah, I'd probably do it. And then you're just going to have a team that has no young talent.
Well, you know what you do then? You know what you absolutely do then?
Oh, now we're going to tag and trade Pickens?
No. Keeping. It forces you now to go play in free agency.
Oh, Jerry's going to tell you we don't have a pie for that.
No, they do. They do.
Max and George were tapped out, boys.
Don't let him tell that. Don't let him tell you that.
That would be great. Yeah, if you found it would suck for
no. I mean, you have no. I mean, the draft's gone. But what you now do, it might force the Cowboys to get off their hands and not bottom fish.
That would be amazing. It would be absolutely amazing. I do think the Cowboys should be a team that is doing everything they can for a literal 2 to 3 year window. And then we signed a bunch of contracts that 4 years from now, there's a bunch of dead money, there's a bunch of void years, and that one's going to hurt. But for 2 to 3 years, we're chasing, and we're going to see what we can do. I think that's who they should be. Yeah. Jersey Cowboys in the Super Chat. Follow-up question, would you move
By the way, the gentleman asked about Will McClay drafting.
His job's hard. I don't know what he does and what he doesn't.
This is not – nobody would want to do what Will McClay does. I wouldn't. I mean, as much as I love the Dallas Cowboys, he has an impossible job. He really does.
Picks a guy, and then this guy picks a guy, and that guy picks a guy, and you're like –
Will McClay has always got somebody mad at him for something. Yeah. Always. He is always having to deal with his own scouts who feel like that he's favoring coaches, and then the Joneses get mad at him because they're not they're not coming to a consensus which they like, and then he's dealing with the coaches who think that he's not getting the players because he's siding with the scouts. Folks, you don't realize that Will McClay's job is not just stand there and pick players. It's not that. He sets the board. He tries. This is an organization that comes to consensus. You want real change? You want real change? I'll give you real change. How about let Will McClay be the general manager? How about Will McClay? How about the Joneses basically say, okay, listen, we're going to sit over here, the coaches, and that let Will McClay handle the coaches and the scouts and the Joneses how he sees fit, and not that he has to make a consensus with everybody. If Jerry Jones is smart, you take Will McClay and maybe one other guy, somebody that you feel like can evaluate, and they'll go set this board. They'll take the information they get from their scouts and the coaches, and they go find this thing. What this organization needs to do is tighten the access to Jerry and to Will, and not make it where it's a consensus deal. Let Will go and pick the players, and let him go tell the scouts, shut your mouth or I'm going to get rid of you. Coaches, shut the hell up. I'll take your input, but this is what I'm going to do. That's what this thing needs to be now. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need. You want real change. It's not about giving Will McClay the title. It's about letting Will McClay run the department like it needs to be run, where there's not Barry Switzer telling you that you need to go get DeMarco Murray, or it doesn't need to be Dana Bible telling you, you need to go get this guy. It needs to be all about let Will McClay do his damn job, and let him do it in a way where he's not having to make everybody happy in that organization, because they have to have a consensus. That's the biggest bunch of bullshit there is right now. That's the problem. It's not Will McClay. And listen, Will McClay, there's times when Will McClay absolutely hates me saying things, and that's cool. I mean, but I do respect and I do know what happens in that building. That is a difficult chair to sit in, because you do not have the full control you need to be a drafter. So if you're asking a question, when's the last time Will McClay had a good draft? Never, because Will McClay doesn't get to have the draft. That's not his deal. His deal is helping them put together the board, and that's really it. Until otherwise, don't blame him for all the shit. Now, he's going to have to sit there I give you, you know what? He went out there and he made Dan Quinn happy. Why? He goes and drafts Mozzie Smith. You know what I'm saying? He tries to do things to help his coaches, and he tries to keep the Joneses happy, and he tries to keep the scouts happy. It's a bad job to have because you really don't have control over it.
Yep. That's tough. Jersey Cowboys said, follow-up question. Would you move our 12 to 17 range pick in a 2027 first to go get one of the OSU players? That makes me have a random question. Since you owe the better of those two picks, I don't know that you're allowed to trade one because they have access to one and they don't know which one. So I don't think
that's right.
Trade one.
So
that not possible. You'd have to trade something else.
Yep.
And the Cowboys are in such a spot where they need so much.
They can't fix all the holes they have.
I think trading up would be hard for this team because of
your
how
best
you need.
Your best situation is to try and just get as many best players as you can. You're going to keep Pickens. You got Quinnen Williams. That's a great start. CeeDee Lamb. You got Booker. You've got some of these. You got to figure out the tackle spots. You know, you clearly have to figure out the edge spots too. You know, some of the opposite. Yeah.
Josh in the super chat asking about the edges. He says, if Bailey and Howell, and that's David Bailey at Texas Tech, and Cassius Howell at Texas A&M, are on the board for your pick for our need, who is BB
taking Bailey? I'm taking Bailey, and I love both of them. And I've got Bailey in the first round. I have Howell in the second round. I have Howell's. I'm gonna have 15, 16 first round grades. Bailey fits in the 15 to 16 range. Howell would be somewhere 17, 18, 19. He's a first-round player. I just weigh my board, the way I stack my board, I would have Bailey over Howell. I'll tell you another guy, Height, is a pretty damn good player out there at Texas Tech, too. You need to watch him. I want a bendy guy. I want a rusher. I don't give a damn about playing run defense, folks. You better find a way to get a fucking guy to the passer. So you better. I mean, it's clear. Watch this team play. Watch this team play and tell me the pass rush hasn't been awful this year. Tell me that.
I can't tell you that.
I mean, Aaron White Cotton, listen, I've got my eyes on you too. We're all focusing on Matt Eberflus, and there might be some new coach come in here and blow all these guys out. But I'm just saying, you got no pass rush, and you want to kill these kids in the secondary because they can't hold up. Yeah, they're making mistakes, but they got no damn pass rush. Got none. None.
By the way, Romello Hype moved up about 30 spots on the PFF board after I said I loved him. I just want you to know
right. Well, what's our guy, John Owning? Isn't he John Owning a PFF guy?
He works with them or for them. I don't know exactly.
Maybe John Owning's listening to everybody's programs.
Or
John's
maybe
a good dude.
Maybe
John's a good evaluator.
Maybe John's watching the players and telling them when they're wrong.
I think John's listening, and John's saying, "Wow, I'm going to watch this guy." And oh wow, this guy needs to be a little higher than he is.
Oh,
Height's a good player. I like him. He's been to 4 schools though. Crazy. Started Auburn, USC.
It fits what I think for me is the struggle with this group of pass rushers in the draft, which I do think this plays into what we talked about earlier. I think this elevates Arvell Reese because of when you look at this pass rush group.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there aren't good ones, but what I am saying is I could pick apart every single one of them. So like
I like Howell a lot though. And I like Bailey. I think Bailey's a little bit more bendy. Howell for a guy that stands up at a 2-point stance and gets after, I mean, that's pretty impressive. But you're right. You're right about these rushers. You're right. You're right about it.
So I'll give you mine in order right now. I've seen 9 guys that play on the edge, and because I watched a whole bunch of them yesterday. And so here's the order that I have them in. And honestly, I'm not super confident about my order at this moment, but this is how I have it at this moment. My top guy is Ruben Bain Jr. There's a chance he's not even picked in the first round, right? Listening to our buddy Dane Brugler, says a lot of NFL teams might have him as a second-round guy. He doesn't have giant sack numbers this season, and allegedly he has T-Rex arms.
When's the last time an offensive tackle completely extended out on an edge rusher? I'll wait.
Well, and I know that for this short-armed guy, boy, offensive linemen sure do get ragdolled by this tiny arm guy a lot.
Way overthinking this one. If you're thinking that guy can't play football,
and I think the thing that makes him my top edge guy is when you go down the rest of these guys, you're going to talk about, do I have to hide him? And I don't have to hide Ruben Bain.
He plays all up and down the line.
270-pound edge, 275, and he's ragdolling people. I know he's going to be a good run defender, and I think there's decent to good NFL pass rush in there. Like kind of Tank Lawrencey. Like maybe it's 6 to 8 sacks instead of chasing after 12 to 13. But he's also going to play every down, and he's also going to be a really good run blocker.
You might have that in Donovan Ezeraku. That might be Donovan
Ezeraku to give me some sacks, baby.
I'm just telling you, Donovan Ezeraku had more sacks against better offensive tackles in the ACC than he has been playing this year, and that's disappointing.
Yeah. Patty the Pirate said, indeed, the two people he's been asking about for weeks are not football players, but fans of the show from Wisconsin and Maryland, and he's saying hi to them. So hello to Joe and Rob.
Thanks, Joe. Rob, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
My current second edge guy is David Bailey at Texas Tech.
Mine too.
And I will go back to, I think you kind of have to hide him in the run game in the NFL, at least as a rookie.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he's going to be.
You got 3 guys that can play the run. You got 3 guys that can play the run for the Cowboys. You got 1 guy. You do not have a bendy edge rusher. David Bailey would be perfect in this defense.
Yeah, and maybe
whatever the defense might be.
And maybe that makes the Cowboys almost uniquely suited to be able to not worry about if a guy's not a great run player, because by God, we just invested everything in the world to getting 3 defensive tackles. One of the easy things in the NFL to find. We used all of our resources to find it anyway, and now we're desperately searching for the hard stuff to find. And so David Bailey probably fits. The Auburn guy Falk is my 3rd ranked edge.
I don't see a bendy guy. I see 6'6", 285. I see a guy that's really too long. I see a guy that looks like a lot like a 5 technique. Looks kind of like a 5 technique end. I just don't see. I'm thinking, give me somebody with some bend to him. Like I said, the thing with
I can tell you won't like him or my next guy, and you will like the 2 after them.
Who else you got?
And that might be the ones, and that might be a Cowboys fit thing. Because I'm just putting the players in order, not necessarily for the Cowboys. Because I do think Falk, the Auburn guy, like this is an NFL tools thing. Like big body dude, fluid mover.
Man, but he can't win. The dude has trouble winning there are people that said in 2024, he was a better player. Check the 20.
Going back and watching. I watched 20.
I'm trying to figure this out. Parcells would have loved this guy. You know, but this is not an explosive player. It's just not. And that's the problem. That's what the Cowboys have. The Cowboys have no explosive players. They don't.
If you're going strictly for the Cowboys, because I would tell you my next guy is TJ Parker at Clemson, who I think you're going to say the same thing about. He's not explosive pass
they might as well have those 2 tags touching for me. I'm just if you're letting me draft for the Cowboys again, you're going to hear me say it for the next 4 months. Give me an explosive edge player. They have 0.
Then Bryan's Cowboys board is Bailey, the Texas Tech rusher.
Yeah.
Howell, the Texas A&M rusher.
That's him.
And Height, the Texas Tech other edge rusher.
You're
undersized, twitched up, go get the quarterback dude.
6'3", 240. I've never seen a guy transfer, like I said, Auburn, USC, Georgia Tech, now Tech. It's a 25-year-old guy. People will probably kill him for that. We had Terrence Newman and Parcells.
Height's 25?
Oh, he's 25 years old. Yeah.
I know Messidor, the other Miami guy, is going to be 25 as well.
Well, this guy is like, you watch him. And I'm just looking at my notes. He could set up pass rush moves. He's effective, uses his hands, the shoulder fakes, the blockers. He could go inside, he could go outside. It doesn't matter. This guy makes things happen. I'm just reading my notes. The angles, the bend, the motor, the speed. Like when it comes to the read option stuff, playing assignments, boom, he's going after the ball. I didn't see a guy that was out of position. I seen him walk blockers back. The Houston game, you could watch him play against the Cougs, and he's walking their tackles back to the quarterback. He did remind me of like when you watch Boston College with Donovan Ezeraku when he was at Boston College. That edge, bendy, go. I don't know what's happened to Donovan Ezeraku, but he is not the same player that he was at Boston College. I think, like I say, teams are going to kill him because of his age and probably the lack of bulk. But, man, I'll tell you what, you want a bendy guy that can get after it. This cat has got it. He has got every bit of that for a football team.
I love this. I love it. Like, two guys that I think there's a chance they could be really good NFL players. And Bryan Broaddus is just like, listen, Cowboys got to go get the damn quarterback. I don't got time for your toolsy guy.
Man, have we watched games all year? Have we watched games all year, Jeff?
We have.
And listen, when we do Trusted Tape, we appreciate the Buccaneer fans and the Rams fans and everybody else that shows up. We love you. But like you said, there's things we talk about with the Cowboys. That's cool. But if I'm looking at the Dallas, we'll talk about the non-bendy Falk guys and those guys. We'll talk about them. But if you're talking Dallas Cowboys, you better go get you an edge rusher that can get after it.
Bryan, we might need to trade down, or maybe our second pick on Howell or Height. Bailey will be early, I bet. Maybe that's the way we play.
Well, the thing about it is, you're in a situation where if you want to trade a pick back, your own pick might be the most valuable one. Because if Green Bay to get in the tournament and say they beat the Bears, then their spot now immediately they go into the divisional. So you lose them for 4 spots. Really, you want Green Bay to lose. I mean, you do, just to keep them where they're at. Because if they win, then they drop down into the divisional group, and that's 4 more spots towards the bottom. So your pick might be the most valuable one. For sure.
All right, Bryan, I got to go to Pilates. You got to go do stuff. Make sure that you are following Crown Global Media, both on YouTube
please do.
On Twitter, as he's trying to create a Twitter juggernaut with the Crown Global account. It's very important. And follow the DLS Sports account as well. It's where you can find me 5 days a week. Bryan, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Look forward to talking to you on Friday.
All right. Peace out, people. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everybody. We love you. Be